Hey poker folks, I'm Christy, and if you've been watching any of my videos lately, you'll know that I've been talking a lot about journaling in poker and how important it is for getting better at poker faster. I realize though that I may have been a little unfair and that I haven't given a really good example of how I personally do my poker journal. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take a look in my poker journal and I'm going to show you exactly how I use it as a check-in and a check-out system before and after I play a session. Also, thanks to your feedback, I've got a special treat coming up for you in this video, so stay tuned for that shortly. So I'm going to show you exactly how I keep my poker journal. Because I'm used to Google Suite, I actually keep a Google document on my G Drive, and this is where I keep all of my poker journal entries. I like that my journal is in one convenient location for me and I can access it from my laptop or from my cell phone. But you don't have to do it this way. You can keep a traditional paper journal, or you can even use a voice recorder to record your voice if you really do not like writing. The first part of my poker journaling system is to have a pre-game check-in. This should be done at most a few hours before your poker session. First things first, start your pre-session check-in noting the day and time. Second, write a few words about how you're feeling. Are you tired? Are you energetic? Are you hopeful? Are you nervous? Write those things down so you're keeping track of your mental and emotional state. Next, what is your goal for the session? What are you trying to accomplish? Knowing this will help you stay on track. It's also important to note your long-term goal. Why are you playing poker, period? Does it fit into the greater narrative of your life in some way? What's really motivating you to play poker in the long run? In case you have a losing session today, having this long-term goal will help keep you motivated to continue improving and playing your best. I like to include a spot to have a narrative, just in case there's something more I'd like to write about. Maybe I've had a pretty exciting week or a really intense week, and it would be helpful to write a few sentences about what's going on in my personal life. Before you're ready to play your session, you should also remind yourself, what are the helpful strategies you have? The strategies that will get you back on track in case you start tilting or playing poorly. These could be as simple as breathing at the table. Maybe there's a visualization you like to do. Maybe you have a mantra. Maybe you want to go get some water, talk to a friend. There are so many strategies that you could use, but this is where you want to take note of them and consciously, actively remember them so you will not forget. The last part is to use a logic statement to target any specific issues you're dealing with. In order to give you a better example of all of these things, let's actually look at one of my more recent journal entries. So in my journal entry, you can clearly see that I took note of all the basics, the day and time, how I was feeling, my goals for the day, and a little bit of narrative about what was going on for me. I hadn't added the section about helpful strategies yet, which I think is really important. So I'm glad I've added that now, but at the time I wrote this, I hadn't put it in my journal yet. But I do want to show you all this logic statements part. This is where you can really target issues that you are having with a helpful reminder. This is a mental reminder that you give yourself when you start tilting or playing poorly. Personally, reminding myself that I can only control my own decisions and making an intentional effort to focus on just one small decision at a time helps me to stay focused at the table and avoid tilting. So those are logic statements that I found helpful. They're helpful reminders to me, and they're things that I actually do remind myself of at the poker table if I start getting off track. That's the purpose of a logic statement. By doing a little bit of self-reflection, and this journal can actually help you with that, you'll be able to craft a logic statement that really gets to the heart of something you're having a hard time with. So that's really it for the check-in system. Obviously, you can tweak things as you need to by adding things in or taking things out, based on what you know about yourself. Before we move on to the post-session checkout, I want to address something that's come up several times from commenters, and most recently from Jean-Francois, who said he'd like to hear more music in my videos. Striking a balance between like enough sensory stimulation and not enough sensory stimulation has been a bit of a struggle for me in creating my videos. Personally, I find videos that have people talking and music playing behind them to be really distracting, but I know it's not like that for everyone. And ultimately, I want people to enjoy the experience of watching my videos. So while I don't think I'm ready to lay a music track on top of my vocal track, I do think I have a creative solution that incorporates music and something I happen to enjoy a lot, which is dancing. What if we have a dance party? Well, I hope that was a fun way of breaking up the monotony of me talking and just hearing my voice over and over again. I also get tired of hearing my own voice, and dancing is a lot of fun. But enough messing around, time to get to the post-session checkout. In your post-session checkout, definitely take note of how long you played for and any breaks that you took. Give yourself a score on a scale of 0 to 100 on how you think you played. This will get easier over time. Personally, if I'm having trouble scoring myself, or if I actually played a lot of different ways throughout the session, I'll give myself a score at the beginning of the session and at the end. Sometimes that's the way it is too, right? You'll be playing your A game at the beginning and later on you'll be playing your C game. So that's just real. Next, how did tilt impact you? As you can see here in my example, I don't write exhaustively about it, but I wrote a few sentences that are helpful. I got sucked out on a few times and I only found myself tilting in one hand when I played way too wide after getting sucked out on. It's important for me to remember and really take note of that. When I get tilted, sometimes I'll play too many hands, I'll open too wide. That's a great thing for me to track so I can keep improving my mental game and really plugging those leaks. Another good thing to notice is what you did that helped you get closer to your goals. In your pre-session check-in, you talked about your goals. Now's the time to really reflect on what steps you made in your session that helped you get closer to those goals. One of my favorite parts of the post-session checkout is writing about any pivotal hands or decisions that I made. This gives me something concrete to remember the session by, and again, it's a way of tracking my own growth and progress as a poker player. Next, go ahead and take note of what your goals for the next session are. Based on your check-in, how the session went, and your checkout, you're already thinking about what you need to be working on for next session. And that's it, folks. Now you've seen my poker journal. I'm going to include a link down there below in the description to my poker journal template in case you'd like to copy that or use it on your own. This is just how I do my poker journal, and it's been very helpful for me. You, of course, can do whatever you need to do to make your poker journal fit your needs. Please let me know if this information has been helpful to you, and if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that thumbs up button.